Hey, what's up, people? J-Dub here to give my preview of WWE Bragging Rights pay-per-view that's going to be on Wednesday. Not Wednesday. Speaking of Wednesday, but this is going to be a Bragging Rights video. But before I get into that, speaking of Wednesday, on the J-Dub Show website, Wednesday, 6 p.m., my usual live broadcast, I was in there with my peeps, and the discussion, a discussion about airplanes came up. I don't know how it came up, but, I made the comment, I've never been in an airplane that I haven't flown myself, like piloted myself. They're like, huh, what are you talking about? Are you talking about simulation games? I'm like, no, literally an airplane. Every airplane that I've been in, I've flown it, piloted. They're like, oh, you're lying. I have proof. I have a book to show that I was in pilot's training class. They're like, where's the book? I looked for the book. I couldn't find the book, but here is the book. Private Pilot Manual. Let me open it up to show you guys that I'm not BSing. It's a real book, and it is mine from my pilot's training class. So for all the people that call me a liar, I will be expecting my apologies down in the comment section below. Speaking of the comment section below, I want you to give me your opinions, your thoughts, your views, your general thoughts going into this Bragging Rights pay-per-view, which is going to be on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on all of the matches, starting with the SmackDown Divas match, SmackDown versus Raw Divas tag match. Team SmackDown includes WWE Women's Champion Michelle McCool, Beth Phoenix, and Natalya. Team Raw includes WWE Divas Champion Melina, Kelly, and Gail Kim. I wouldn't be surprised if Team Raw won this match because WWE, Vince McMahon, he's absolutely in love with Melina and Kelly. So, they're like fan favorite. So I wouldn't be surprised if they won this match. But I'm going to go with Team SmackDown. You have the WWE Women's Champion Michelle McCool. Basically, the most significant thing that she's done since she's had that championship is get injured. Like, I don't even remember anything that she's done since she's had that championship. Her profile on SmackDown is so low, and for her to have the Women's Championship, she's supposed to be the top diva, in WWE, and she just doesn't hold that spot for me. So I'm thinking that, they will give Michelle McCool the win in this match so she can increase her profile. And also, Beth Phoenix is on the team. She was just moved from Raw to SmackDown to give her like a fresh start, give her some momentum. So I can't see how they'll have her, lose this match and still expect her to have momentum. So, yeah, and hopefully Natalya, she gets like a spotlight in this match because she hasn't done like anything solo for herself since she's been in WWE, and for her to be so talented, I just don't see how that's possible at all. Second match I'm going to discuss, Intercontinental Champion versus the United States Champion, John Morrison versus The Miz. Just a little side note, we know these guys have history between each other, and they, reprised that history on a couple of episodes ago on SmackDown, bringing back the dirt sheet, one night only. Is it just me, or did, The Miz totally show up John Morrison on the mic? Like, I didn't know how bad John Morrison was on the mic until, he distanced himself from The Miz, went solo and turned, face. So, I don't know if it's that The Miz was just so good or John Morrison was that bad, but The Miz did totally show up John Morrison. But that aside, honestly, I don't care who wins this match, whether it's John Morrison or The Miz, because I'm big fans of both of these guys, and I could see it going either way. As long as it's a pretty good match, it has all of the makings to be a good match. As long as it's a good match, I'll be satisfied with whoever wins. Third match of the night, WWE Championship on the line, Randy Orton versus John Cena, 1 hour, anything goes, WWE Iron Man match. Thing that stands out to me in that sentence that I just read, anything goes. This is a 60-minute match that is anything goes, basically because John Cena and Randy Orton, they cannot possibly fill 60 minutes of just straight wrestling. They just can't feel it at all. Hell, they probably couldn't even feel 10 minutes of straight wrestling. And it, John Cena, people say he has his 5 moves of doom. Randy Orton with his headlocks, they have to add the tables, they have to add the chairs, they have to add the steel steps or whatever, just to make this match a little bit more interesting and draw it out into the 60 minutes. And, an alternative to that, they could have done the match in, slow motion or something. I don't know how that would work, but, it's possible. Moving on to the... No, it's not possible at all. Hell. But, speaking of that 60-minute Iron Man match, I will be on the JDubShow.com website streaming live. I won't be streaming the pay-per-view. I'll be streaming, myself, giving, live thoughts of it, because I don't know if that shit is going to bore me or not. Like, 60 minutes, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go at all. But, yeah, join me on the website. Next match I'm going to be discussing the World Heavyweight Championship match, Undertaker, CM Punk, Batista, Rey Mysterio. My hopes for this match, CM Punk and Rey Mysterio, you know, out of all of the combinations, you know, one-on-one combination you can get out of these guys, hopefully CM Punk and Rey Mysterio have the most time, like, one-on-one in this match. That would, like, up the star rating and up the quality of the match. You know, that's just in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm expecting Batista to win this match. I'm thinking that, you know, WWE will go with Batista winning this match. Undertaker, he might just have a short title reign, and I'm expecting Undertaker to pull a quote-unquote Sting. Now, if you don't know what I mean when I say pull a Sting, basically that's something that I came up with after watching episodes from Impact, after watching, you know, TNA pay-per-views where Sting is in a match with multiple people, meaning it's something other than a, you know, a singles match, whether it's a tag team match or you know, a triple threat or a fatal four-way or something like that. But at some point in the match, Sting gets hit by one of his opponents, and he just gets laid out outside of the ring, and he disappears for like 5 to 10 minutes. You don't even see him on camera at all. I'm thinking this is going to happen at some point in the match with The Undertaker. But, yeah, I'm thinking that Batista will win this match. But it's just sad to see that The Undertaker is like a shell of his former self. He just hasn't been the same since he came back to WWE, since his epic match at WrestleMania 25 with Shawn Michaels. He just hasn't been the same at all. Next match I'm going to discuss, and it's the final match. SmackDown versus Raw tag team match. Team Raw, DX, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, with the Unified Tag Team Champion, The Big Show, Mark Henry, Cody Rhodes, Jack Swagger, and Kofi Kingston. They're going to be facing off against Team SmackDown. Unified Tag Team Champion Chris Jericho and Kane. They're joined with 5 new team members, and those new team members are Matt Hardy, Finlay, R-Truth, the Hart Dynastys, David Hart Smith, and Tyson Kidd. Now, what I was so, you know, like, basically giddy about on the live broadcast on Wednesday, you have the Hart Dynasty on one team, and you have DX on the opposite team. These guys, you know, so much history with that name Hart, and with, you know, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, so many possibilities of possible, you know, feuds and, you know, ways WWE can go about this if they're going to go that way, and I hope that they were going to go that way. I talked about it in a couple of videos ago, so hopefully WWE does go this way. And yeah, I'm thinking, you know, I don't know if they're going to actually reference the Montreal Screwjob, whether the announcers are going to say something about it, or, you know, even if they don't go that route, just have those guys, those 4 guys in the ring, and just have like a stare down, like something like that, something to acknowledge that there's history between those guys. So, yeah, I'm thinking that Team Raw is going to win this. The previous Team SmackDown, I could have, you know, there was cause for them to win because they had, like, young guys that WWE was intending on pushing, but since they've changed the team, basically they have nobodies going nowhere soon on the team. Matt Hardy, Finlay, R-Truth, guys that are wildly popular on SmackDown, but basically WWE doesn't have, it seems like they don't have any plans for those guys at all. So I could see Team Raw winning this match, and you can't go wrong on a team with, you know, Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And I wonder what ECW's role in all of this would be, because you don't have any representation of ECW on this card at all. So ECW could make a surprise appearance, you know, throw a wrench in everybody's plans. But, you know, whatever happens, happens. I will be anticipating this pay-per-view. I will be watching it, and like I said, I will be on JWshow.com, so hopefully you join me. And, yeah, that's where I'm going to end this video. And, oh, yeah, before I end this video, you know, this kind of has to deal with wrestling. It's like a common thread, but it's not on the topic of wrestling at all. You know, people said the WrestleMania 25 main event was overhyped. People said the TNA, what the hell is the name of that? Bound for Glory. Sorry, TNA fans. Bound for Glory, the main event was overhyped. Speaking of overhyped, do not go spend your money to see Paranormal Activity. That shit was so overhyped. It was not scary at all, though. The scariest thing in that movie was a bump in the night. Like, that's it, a bump in the night. You know, you have a couple of killings in the movie. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear, you have a couple of, you turn away now. I've stopped talking about wrestling, but yeah. Spoiler alert. There's a couple of killings in the movie, and you see none of the killings at all on screen. So, there you go. The movie totally sucked ass, and don't spend your money to go see it. It's nowhere near the scariest movie of all time, unless you're comparing it to, like, what? Like meatballs, Attack of the Meatballs, or whatever the name